Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of the Saigon podcast. In this conversation, we have Léo Noël. He is the leader of the men's growth gathering group that meets up once a month at Yoga Pod in Thảo Điền. These gatherings are a safe place for men to practice meditation, breath work, and healing together as one team. Something I personally really loved about his gatherings was meeting with like-minded people. What surprised me at the first men's gathering that I attended was how quickly the attendants clicked with each other. There's something about this event that gathers, I feel like it attracts people who are on the journey of self-realization. And that's not only powerful, but rare.
Yo, how we doing?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good. Let me make sure that my microphone's on track here. And it's happening, brother.
Awesome. We're here. We did it. For
We're
everyone
here.
listening,
We
we're here
did
with
it.
Léo Noël. He is the host of the men's gathering. And number 4 is coming up.
Yes, number 4 is coming up this week. I'm super excited about it. The theme of it is going to be seasons, especially seasons of life that we go through, the different cycles. So yeah,
I was
it's
going
going
to
to be
ask you,
great.
how do you choose the themes for each gathering?
It really is about what resonates in the moment. And also about what I feel like the audience is asking for and is going through. So we've already got a few regular members, and they tell me what they need. They talk to me about their problems. They talk to me about what's going on as well and the good things. The first theme was opening with an S, openings. And same, like I feel like it was great to open with openings. What does it mean to open up as a man, to open ourselves up to others, to the world, to nature, to all of it? The second one was balance. It's another one that we all need and that we're all working for constantly in our life, balance. And it really worked well with the integration of yogic embodied knowledge and balancing not only the body, but life and the mind. The third one that you were also part of was, do you remember?
Alchemy.
Yes, yes. Alchemize, emotional alchemy, life alchemy. How can we take pure materials and transform them into whatever sort of whatever helps us in our lives?
That hits hard today.
So yeah. Oh
Man.
yeah, you want to tell me about it?
Yeah, I just feel like I've had to spend some time like away from my girlfriend at the moment, and then I just realized like, holy
Yeah.
shit, I'm getting separation anxiety. Like it's actually happening. And now it's like how to alchemize this shit. Right. So that's like what I'm working on this week. I'm like, damn, I know there must be a way to alchemize this.
Fuck yeah, man. So like there's many ways to see it. There's many ways to see it. Like obviously it's an uncomfortable situation, but you know that's how we grow. We grow
Yeah.
through discomfort, and comfort is most often how we sink. So what do you already have ideas on how to alchemize this and turn it into a positive, turn it into a growth experience, turning into empowerment?
Right. Yeah. Like I was telling
Yeah.
Vietnamese Nick earlier today, like it felt like there was a child inside of me crying and it's like asking for support.
Sure.
And then it's like, where's my mom? And then I'm like, I mean, I'm here too. I can help you too. But there's also me. I can also
Amazing.
support you. Oh shit, my light's being weird. But yeah, that's I think the only thing I've tried so far. Like talking to that kid and trying to convince him that I can support him.
Fuck yeah. It's about reparenting yourself. Because at the end of the day, our parental systems, apart from our DNA, on an emotional level, should be us primarily as the parents of that inner child.
Mm,
And you're already pretty advanced in your journey, so you've already followed the trail of whys, like why am I feeling this about
mm.
my girlfriend going away for a bit? Like where does it come from? Where does it stem from? And doing that little shadow work of going step by step until like, oh shit, it's a little child, Nick, that is asking for something. And have you noticed exactly what age and what situation was that child in?
That's a good question. I'm gonna guess 3 or 4, and the situation would
3 or 4?
be, yeah, I think maybe just not being sure who my mom was. Yeah,
Okay.
even though I knew who my biological mom was, it's like it's just didn't really click in my brain. Like, yeah, but I'm not sure like emotionally who's
Yeah.
my mom. So I think it must have been that.
All right. Do you want to go through a little exercise right now?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, let's fucking do it, man. We're doing it one step at a time. So, do you have access to the memories of this 4-year-old you?
I think so. I think so. I can try.
Okay. Now that 4-year-old, you identified what that 4-year-old was missing?
What he was missing?
Yeah.
He was missing being seen, um, and just feeling supported, I guess. Like, he was missing
Okay.
safety.
Yeah. So we're doing parts work. A lot of the times it comes back to parts work. And I'm going to run people through that process as well so they understand exactly the process of it. Anytime trauma happens, a part of us is created. You've got a lot of different types of parts in parts work. You've got parts that are created when trauma happens. Thus, there's a split, and a part is created, a part in time. Then you've got parts of personality. And you've got a dancer, you've got a teacher, you've got a coach, you got a player, you got a comedian, you got all these parts and different parts in time. So we're gonna go back to that 4-year-old that was missing safety, and that was missing what else you said? We had two words.
Like he needed to feel seen.
Okay. So safety and recognition, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Sure. So what was missing for him to be able to receive safety and recognition?
What was missing? Like attention.
On
And,
a on the physical plane, what was missing?
ah,
Yeah.
maybe more hugs. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
makes
cool.
sense.
That now don't talk as you can go back and really makes ask that 4-year-old self,
Mm.
have him meet you on the stage in your brain and ask him from whom did he want to receive that hug?
I don't know why right now it feels like a hug from my dad was more consoling, but I guess it
Oh, great,
wanted
great.
it wanted a consoling hug from mom too.
All right, so you know what? We're going to do that right now.
Cool.
Is there a room that you picture where all of this could have happened? Maybe your childhood home.
Let me think. Yeah, I can think of a room. Yeah.
Okay. So you find yourself in that room as that 4 year old, and you're not worried anymore because both of your parents are here and they love each other. And we're going to have some resistance here. I need you to let go of the story of whatever happened in real life or whatever feeling is attached to it. We're consoling your nervous system by rewriting it and by actually giving you that so it can time travel back to present Nick. But right now, we're with that 4 year old Nick in that room, and both of your parents are here. Do you smell anything in that room?
I think I smell good food.
Yeah, what food? What food do you smell?
Yeah, I smell Peruvian food, like the Peruvian Chinese fusion food.
Name it.
Lomo saltado.
Go deeper. Okay, good, good. So you smell that. Have you eaten yet, or are you about to eat?
So we're about to eat.
You're about to eat. Okay, okay. So you can also feel the saliva in your mouth, getting ready for that food that your parents lovingly made for you. They made it with love
Mm.
because both of them are happy right now. They're in a happy relationship. They love having you here and they love feeding you. It's all they want. So they're here and they're getting ready for an embrace. What are you smelling? Do your parents wear deodorant, perfume, apart from the food?
So yeah, my dad does wear deodorant, and the brand is, I think, Irish
Okay.
Spring or something.
Irish Spring, yeah, Irish Spring. It's all right. We're feeling, we're smelling the food. We're smelling Irish Spring. What does your mom smell like?
She has a cologne that's more something more like flowers. It's more like flowers.
All right. So your mom is wearing that flowery smell. Um, can you hear anything? Is the food cooking? Is there music? Is there noise outside?
Like it's dinner time and like the food is ready, but the table's not served yet.
Okay. Yes. So you can hear mostly the food cooking. Is that it?
Yeah, yeah. I can smell it for sure.
Yeah. All right. Um, so stay with the smell, stay with what do you hear of both your parents, and it's a happy setting. You guys are chatting, they're giving you attention.
Mm,
And whatever they might have needed in real life to actually provide to you, whatever they needed in themselves, you can find comfort in knowing that they have it. If it is difficult relationships with their own family, if it is their own limiting beliefs, their own trauma, um, it's not present. What is just present is their love for you. There is nothing that is preventing that love. So you can see threads behind them and you can remove the dust on the thread that doesn't belong here. Now you come back to them and they greet you with a smile and your mom starts hugging you first. We're going to stay in it for a little bit. Picture the scene. Does she pick you up? Does she get down to your level? Now it's your dad's turn. Remember, it's a body exercise. It's not a mind exercise. So you're feeling all of this in the body, not in the head. They got what they needed and they gave you what you needed as well. And now you can come back whenever it feels right.
Cool, man. Thank
It's
you.
all good. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about your current situation that you're facing now?
It kind of felt like my parents already loved me. They just didn't
Yes.
like they felt awkward showing it the way that maybe they really felt it or something.
I've been doing that exercise as well with
Mm.
my own coach.
Ah, cool.
And oh man, so much tears.
Mm.
Um, your nervous system doesn't know the difference between what is true and what isn't. It just knows what you give it.
Mm.
And we there's a lot that we carry between the story, which we can try to let go of, the trauma, which we can try to let go of,
Mm.
and the genetics, which we can't let go of. So you can also do family constellations exercises, which are wonderful, where you picture your parents in front of you. Uh, they can be standing, they can be sitting on chairs, and you put photos of them, and you see their lineage behind them, their own parents, their own grandparents, and you put your forehead to the ground. No, before you say, Father, you are tall, I am short. Mother, you are tall, I am short. Then you put your forehead to the ground, open hands, and receive receive from your entire lineage. And that apparently does have a lot of repercussions on your health and on your genetics. Then you turn to, so they're on your back and you face at the horizon. And you know that your entire family lineage is standing behind you, rooting for you, proud of you, because you're literally all that led up to this for like millennia.
Mm.
You're the product and the offspring and the dream of your forefathers.
Mm.
So with that strength, what can't you achieve?
For real, jeez. Like, holy shit. Like, have you heard of
What
Luca?
can't you achieve with that strength? What?
Have you heard of this thing called Luca?
Luca. Um, not that it rings a bell. I know people called Luca. I know the
Ah,
Pixar
yeah.
film as well about
Ah,
the
right.
Merman boy.
So apparently they
I don't
tried to
know.
trace back like the ancestor of every organism alive right now. And the furthest back they
Whoa.
got was some like bacteria that they've just named Luca.
Fuck yeah.
So
So
like,
we're all brothers of Luca,
yeah, we all come from that
descendants of
same whatever that
Luca,
is, like a
and
cell.
Gengis Khan as well.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That's all parents here.
It's like I always think about like I feel like something that is so magical is seeds. Like how does an
Yeah,
entire tree fit inside of a seed? Like physically, I just can't like wrap my head around it.
exactly. How do you fit in your entire lineage? Like how, like the whole like spermatozoid experiment of Wonder, just knowing that we're number one. If we feel like we've won nothing in life, we've literally won like the greatest like race possible. You're thinking like, oh my God, I couldn't win like one of the Mr. Beast games. Bro, you already won against like millions.
True.
You won the
You already
grand
won Squid Game.
prize. You already won Squid Game. You already won the Mr. Beast games. So you can just wake up and before you even open your eyes, you feel like you're that winner and you give yourself a smile.
True. That was your
And
first
then
one.
again, with that perspective, what the fuck can't you achieve?
True, for real. Even like I think there's like this Steve Jobs video where he's saying like, look around you, all this stuff was made by people not smarter than you.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that's a perspective. I feel like that's a perspective.
And he was really into
Um,
Zen Buddhism for some reason.
I don't know. Everything around you was made by God.
Hmm. Dude, some people will be like, yeah,
Everything
that's
else was
you.
like, yeah, exactly, exactly. You know, it's all about going back to our primeval essence and as men remembering that we are gods and as women remembering that we are goddesses
Hmm.
incarnated into that body, incarnated and meant to live as Shiva, meant to live as Shakti, constantly dancing within ourselves and within the world. This
Hmm.
is what we're meant to experience and doing that dance and ah, wonderful. We are not necessarily, according to the Bhagavad Gita, when we're not necessarily God. We're not necessarily we are, like we are gods and goddesses, but we're not God. It's the difference of it. It's a subtle
Ah,
difference. But we are God experiencing itself
right. Yeah, right. That's
through
awesome.
us. It's full of contradictions, but that's the thing is like contradictions are for a certain paradigm of integration, but after post-integration,
Hmm.
what you notice is contradictions there are no contradictions. There's just complementarity.
Hmm. Sounds like a paradox, or it sounds kind of like non-duality or something like that.
I mean, like, why, like, why would it be a paradox when every reality is superposed upon each other?
Hmm. I don't know.
Like that ain't really a paradox. Like the Hindus were very, very open to it. As Westerners, we believe that there's one story to things
Hmm.
in this universe. But if you take a look at Hinduism, oh my God, there's so many different tales, and they all contradict each other. So like, what? Like, what am I supposed to listen to? Like, what did Ganesh do? Like, how did he lose his tusk? And like, there are hundreds of stories, but they're all true. And I'm gonna tell you, they're all true. They're all true.
Hmm. Who are your favorite spiritual teachers?
Oh, oh. Mm. The the people that have brought me pain, the people that have brought me pain, that have made me feel that like divine and godly experience of uh transformational torture, you know.
Hmm.
Uh the people, but like at the same level as the people that have brought me the most safety and the most pleasure, which often have been the same people. Apart from that, I've got if we want to really be more concrete, Teal Swan, the
Ooh.
goddess. Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. We've got Julian Blanc, who I've been following
Hmm.
even before his downfall. So before he really rebranded himself as a transformational coach when he was a pickup artist.
I was just
So
talking about this with somebody on Saturday, and I was telling him, why do you think he changed his niche? But my friend just thought it was like a business move, but it's not, right? Like I feel like Julian realized something, like
no,
evolved or something.
he literally went through like, okay, so like but I think that what's the most amount of pain that you could get is an entire uh society turning on you. He was branded as um I forgot what it was, but like the most hated person on earth or something. Like when you typed into Google at that time, like that was him. Um, so really going with like, oh, fuck, like literally everyone around me and everyone like you don't even know fucking hates me. He like that is going through like social execution is like the most terrible experience that you can go through.
Mm,
Uh, Pure cancellation, and I've gone through that myself in my
right.
story, and that brought me to where I am today.
Mm,
Uh, it sucks, but I really feel like, like obviously pain is our greatest teacher, and he was completely reborn. Like he had to start from the ground up, everything, and there was ego that took him there, in the first place.
mm,
So yeah, Julian Blanc definitely. Um, then I've got personal ones that I've met in my life that I revere. Um, I can to name them quickly, friends like Sarasvati, Anushka, um, my friend Patricia from France, who gave me Essenian Egyptian readings. Um, my friend Clovis that really taught me a lot about what I know today and saved me from one of my deaths. And my current guide and mentor, who is my coach, Iman, living here in Saigon.
mm,
So there are many, but that's the thing is like when you stop thinking about spiritual teachers as spiritual teachers and start thinking about the fucking like um the driver that you go with to work, like the bike driver that you go with to work as your spiritual teacher, or the man that's just smiling in the street, or the homeless man in the street as your spiritual teacher.
mm.
There's no limit to that. What the fuck is a spiritual teacher? Um, at the end of the day, we're nothing but our own experience. So we can reframe that.
Sure, sure. I'm just thinking of people now that like if I feel that I've gone off my path somehow, that I can kind of see them as a lighthouse to bring me back on the path.
Mm. In some of my lowest times, I was like, oh my God, everyone's gonna be my best friend and everything's gonna be my best friend. And the universe is gonna like I'm gonna be God experiencing the universe. And in that case, like you really start fucking noticing like just like people smiling at you when while you're driving, people smiling at you on the street, or even people not looking at you as as that pure manifestation of Godhead looking down or looking up upon you.
Mm,
So that can be your lighthouse. You can be your own lighthouse
right.
because we have so many. I feel like people are talking about a higher self, but we've got higher selves. We've got so many paths of greatness and beauty and godhood inside of us
Mm,
that are waiting for us on the other hand. And the like one of the paths of life that we can choose is um experiencing and changing ourselves to the point where we're no longer dependent on reality changing itself for us or reality changing. So so higher self, find a way to connect with it. I've got my own way. I've got my own energetical way. I found it. I've got my symbols that I do with my hands.
Cool.
Uh,
You do Reiki,
and that's yeah, yes. As well as that.
like level three,
Um,
right?
but no, no, no. I've never finished my self-healing. So I'm not even done with level one yet.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, I'm not even done with that. And I felt guilty about that, but like when I was supposed to do it, my entire life crumbled apart and I went through my death portal. And so I was like, oh shit, okay, maybe it is the time to do it. But also, let me do other things and I come back to it when it feels right, when it feels aligned.
Hmm. Dang.
Yeah.
But you met Miss Elsa
But
from Mandala Wellness.
no, I haven't. I haven't, but I've seen what she does. I don't like I do struggle to envision how Reiki can be taught with a group
Hmm.
because she does group classes, right? And that's quite far from the experience that I've heard of like of friends or guides that,
Hmm. Yeah, like I knew like really nothing about Reiki until
yeah.
I heard about it in one of those like near-death experience videos. So then I asked a friend
Yeah,
about
you
it.
told me about it. You were
Yeah,
curious about it. And then
I
you went and you did your own Reiki training. Isn't that badass?
yeah,
Isn't
I
that
asked you
wonderful?
and I asked one more friend and they both told me the same place to Mandala Wellness.
Yes. But Reiki, the thing is, Reiki is just an academical school of energy healing.
Hmm.
That's the truth of it. It's kind of like if you were like, oh, did you get your BA from Stanford? No, I got my BA from somewhere else.
Ah, okay.
It's an academical school, or like, are you an impressionist, or are you a neo-realist? Are you a pop artist? It's a certain academical school. Uh, you can go into energetic healing without going through Reiki. Reiki is a set of rules and a set of guidelines that like is beautiful and wonderful and absolutely fucking godly. Like love Reiki. But you can go about energetic healing so many ways that are very similar to Reiki, without all the structure and all the everything that comes with it.
Hmm.
Um, TL Swan has a wonderful video on how to do energetic healing, and you listen to it, and Reiki is not even mentioned once. Yet it's a lot of the same practices, a lot of the same ways of thinking about it, but without the dogma attached to it,
Ah.
you know? And you've also got like etheric surgery, which is like something that I love to do. And it's same like you show this to a Reiki person and they're like, Okay, that's weird, why are you doing this?" But like it's
So what
fucking lovely,
what is
man.
this surgery method?
Etheric surgery. I I was explaining it to one of my guides. I was explaining, oh, I've been doing this to my ex-wife. I used to do this. And she was like, oh, yeah, you were doing etheric surgery. And I was like, a pardon? So I tried to learn more about it, but there's not a lot of resources out there. And the thing with etheric surgery is that it's mostly instinctive.
Hmm.
You've got to work with your intuition. That is a given. Like if you're doing any form of energetic healing, you've got to have like a strong sense of intuition and certain chakras that are open and receptive, and tapping into that Shakti energy, tapping into the feminine, tapping into the feeling, but also the masculine, also that action part. And when you're doing etheric surgery, you're actively adding, removing, you're performing surgery on a person, but energetically. So, like you can take a needle, you can take a knife, you can take a thread. If it doesn't feel right, because it is energetic, you can use a fucking rose to cut open someone where they need to be cut open to take away things that they don't need, give it back to Pachamama, give it back to Earth, because Earth loves to receive. Earth is here to receive whatever we don't need anymore through our feet. And give and you actively give what they need in this moment and in this experience of life. And if you work on that intuition, you can really figure out so many things, and there are things that you'll be familiar with because they teach it in Reiki. Different textures, different smells, different structures, different um, different feelings, different tinglings, different sensations.
Mm.
So many different ways to know what needs to be worked on, what kind of tool you need to be using for this surgery, how well can you visualize it, and how well can you make it happen, and how well you can work on the etheric body of the person. But always consent comes first, and you tell the person what you're going to be doing. Then once the session is happening, it's in the session's hands. And again, aligned with like any form of magic, like any form of energetic work, aligned with the good of all beings. And if whatever you're trying to take away, or whatever you're trying to put in, whatever you're trying to refine, whatever you're trying to fix that feels like it is broken, um, just make sure that it is aligned with the good of all beings. Ask your guides, ask the person's guides, ask the person themselves. Because that's the thing with any medicine is it comes with, or healing, it comes with consent first. Because sometimes, like, also an advocate for, don't fix what someone needs to fix by themselves.
Ah, sure.
And sometimes you don't even need to give the tools. Sometimes it's, oh, you're going to need to walk through this path alone. And that's not me refusing help. Is that this specific path that you're trying to walk on, only you can be your own master. Only you can give yourself exactly what you need through either fucking failure or through your own epiphany.
Mm.
Because there's so many things we can do, right? Like coaching. You can actually give people tools and hope that they do the best with it. You can give people advice if they ask for it. You can um, you can give people exercises. You can give people paradigms. But like at the end of the day, like it's all gonna be on the person and what they ask
It's true.
and what they consent to. Because fuck, like no one. I also believe that like we all need to work on our own boundaries and maybe sometimes receiving less. Just being like, I'm good with this right now.
Mm.
Or sometimes learning to receive more.
True. Oh yeah, I want to ask what was your major in university?
My major at university, I studied many things. In high school, where I come from in France, we already pick like a few specialties. So at that point, in my high school years were my most diverse and some of the most like productive years of my life. And I was a really good artist at that point. I tried my hand at every art out there, mostly filmmaking, directed and put into festivals, short films, long features. So in high school, I studied art and theater, and I was going to go into cinema school. Cinema school was where everything led me to, but I looked at the business and I was just like, hell no. Absolutely not, man. I'm just gonna teach. I'm just gonna teach English. So so I left all that behind. I could have had a like great career in the arts, and I don't fucking regret like absolutely like anything about leaving this arts career behind. And I studied I tried my hands at teaching. I had wonderful guides that just gave me a shot at teaching without any certification, and I fucking loved it. So I studied English linguistics, grammar, culture, and then I spent a year in Wales studying creative writing.
Oh.
Um, so yeah, that's what's up. But there's also a lot of different certifications on the side and different things that I did to learn more about life.
I wonder at what point did you like start like this your spiritual journey?
Spiritual journey starts when you're born, baby.
Yeah.
Starts when you're born. But when I was a child, I didn't quite integrate my mind or body. I was a walking ghost. And I went through a lot of like infantile depressions, like one after the other.
Mm.
So before the age of like until the age of 12, I was just a ball of pain that couldn't distinguish this reality as itself and was constantly hopping between reality and hopping between dreams and the real world. And I didn't fucking know what was real. And for me, this reality didn't matter because it was one among many,
Mm.
but not in a good way,
Ah.
in a very sad way. When I was 12, I went through my first death, failed suicide attempts that just made me choose life. I was in a mental hospital, and from that point on, I had a choice to make. And there was a lady that just fucking gave me this choice. She was a visitor at the hospital, and she was like, "You could stay here all your life." And I knew I could stay there all my life. I could stay at the mental hospital forever, just being insane. Or I could take ownership and choose to be the best version of myself I could be, fully integrate the world, fully step into this reality as is and embrace it, not as one among many realities, but as the true reality we're here to experience in this moment, in this karmic path.
Mm.
So I took a step into this reality, and I spent the rest of my life being fucking devoted to being the best version of myself, which there's no way to fuck up.
Oh, awesome.
So that was when I truly like started. I feel it was just like, and obviously, like many of our friends, there's a path that a lot of people go to, which is starting with self-improvement and then realizing that it's like training wheels for spirituality.
Yeah, right. Also pick up. Or even crypto. Even I
And
think guys in crypto that have really high awareness.
what?
Like there's some guys that I've met like that they have like really specific hobbies. Like it could be doing crypto or forex trading or pickup.
Yeah,
And they have yeah, just like really
hustle
amazing,
bros.
yeah, like amazing insights, like spiritual insights.
Um, I mean, yes, I mean, okay, yeah, sure. Because it starts off as like, oh man, like it starts off from a place of deep pain and a place of like, oh, I need to improve myself, otherwise I'm gonna fuck up everything, and I've already fucked up so much. And it starts as a tool of self-hate
Hmm,
that is masquerading as a tool of self-love.
sure.
Because in that sense, when you think about it, um, like what are you trying to discipline? You're trying to discipline the part of you that is pulling you towards failure.
Hmm.
So you're just actively like hurting so many parts of you by being like, you fucking quiet down, I'm gonna fucking hustle, I'm gonna fucking do this and that.
Hmm.
Whereas, oh my God, if you came at this from a place of love and from a place of just like actually healing your parts, like what are the parts of you that are pulling you towards failure? How can you give them more attention? What can you give to them? What did they miss? What they're in need, what are they in need of? Let's give it to them. Let's spend some
Mm.
time with them. Let's figure out a way to heal them. Let's figure out a way so that we don't feel like they're weighing us down, but they can be pulling us up.
That's the alchemy,
No
right?
parts of no part of you, it's parts work, and everything is alchemy.
Mm.
Everything is alchemy.
True.
Um, it's parts work mostly. Yeah. It's figuring out like how you can reparent yourself
Yeah.
and treat yourself like you would treat your own children. So like anything that you say to yourself that you wouldn't say to your own children, get that out the door.
Right.
It doesn't belong. It doesn't belong. What is making you say these things? Interrogate yourself upon that. Follow the trail of why, why.
Yeah. So what is making us think that we deserve it sometimes?
What is making us think that we deserve what?
Like some people will talk not nicely to themselves and they feel like they deserve to be spoken to like that.
Hey, I mean, it goes back to developmental errors, like directly from like the age of 1 to the age of 18. It goes back to like how you were in the womb as well. It goes back to so many things, and
Yeah.
everyone's got a different path. But you asked me about spirituality and
Yeah.
how I came into it. I've had like waves of yes and no. And at the beginning of 2024, I broke both of my feet and I went to see a few healers. And I was recommended an osteopath. So I went into the osteopath and I was just expecting like a few readjustment because I had problems with everything, right? Because I broke my feet, so I had problems with my knees, with my lower back, with my neck.
What
And
happened?
I came in and he was like, okay, give me numbers, give me like your date of birth, like give me like talk to me about like how you were in the womb and stuff. And he started like writing all this down and doing numerology and having all these numbers on a paper and pulling everything down together and like literally reading patterns and reading the stars. And I was just like, bro, I just thought I was going to get an adjustment. What the fuck is going on? And he kept laughing about everything that was going on. He was just like, ha 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 ha, you mustn't know. Like you have like you mustn't know like what's going to happen to you. I usually tell it to people, but like you're going to have a lot of fucking shit happen to you very quickly in life, and you're not ready for that. But something really big is going to happen at 33, so I'm waiting for that still. Um, and from there on, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go see like what he told me was you need to get closer to spirituality. You need to find spirituality again.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to what the doctor said. So I went and found a Reiki healer that lived close to my house that ended up becoming like a great friend and my Reiki master, and going through the whole process, going there every week, even though I didn't have money for it, just going there every week and fully uh fully shedding everything that I wasn't and coming back into the real me, coming back into full presence and in full godhood within myself. And that led me to other healers, and that led me to a journey to the mountains where I found like my greatest healer, one of my greatest healers. I wouldn't say it's my greatest healer. Like everything is a greatest healer, but she connected me with that true essence that she saw in me, which was the essence of Krishna. And she didn't even know who Krishna was actually. She was like, I just Krishna. Like, can we look on Google, see what the fuck Krishna is up about? Because she wasn't too familiar with Hinduism. And that was the day before my wedding,
Oh,
last July, when we decided that it would be our best decision to go there to the mountains and truly experience, like get back to the closeness of divinity. That lady also saw in me, she was like, very soon you're going to lead a group of people and you're not going to want to do it. And it's going to be so fucking hard, but you have no choice to do it and you must do it because there's a need for it.
Wow.
Um, the day after, I fully connected like I've never before to pure Godhead, to pure essence of Shiva and Shakti dancing the day of my wedding. Little did I know that all of this through quantum entanglement was preparing me for my divorce, was preparing me for the worst time of my life. It was exactly what God had me experience and what I had experienced for myself to reach the highest high, to prepare and to armor myself, wearing the armor that I'm wearing right now, to fully sink into the deepest that I've sunk in my life, and lose everything that I had, and every future I thought that was ahead of me, to then reconnect more deeply, baby. We're going
Yeah.
up and down.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like that repath and that reconnection to spirituality was all the preparation and was all through
Yeah.
that concept of quantum entanglement, just the universe and you knowing exactly what is going to happen and knowing exactly how to prepare yourself to face pain, to face whatever event is going to happen. Like what's happening in 1 month, your body already knows it. The universe already knows it. It's already prepared for you. You're already preparing yourself for that. I told my coach that I was like, I told my coach that story, and she was like, you know what? I also broke my foot a few months before my divorce. Like that's a common experience.
Oh shit. Damn.
It's a common experience of like, and I couldn't explain why I had attained also such a proximity to the divine, which was that true experience of connection. Then we're ready for battle and we're ready for humility, experiencing humility and having everything tear you down.
Sure, right? It's like ego,
So now, again, I feel very close and very connected. And yeah, that's what it's about.
awesome, man. It was all part of the journey. That's right. It's like all those
It's
cheesy
always part of the
lines
journey.
like are like actually true. Like it's so funny.
And we're going to, that's also something that we're going to address on Sunday at Saigon's Men's Growth Gathering is seasons of life, you know?
Mm.
Uh, I'm not quite sure if I'm still in deep winter or if I'm in spring.
Yeah.
After a long, beautiful summer of 6 years of perfect mental health and 6 months of one of the deepest winters of my life, one of the deepest depths of my life.
Mm.
So we're all going to talk about that. We're all going to figure out what area of life we are in, what season of life we're in,
Mm.
and what awaits us in the next season.
Yeah, man. Would you say like you feel you're heading into spring?
Obviously, I'm heading into spring. I'm just not quite sure if if winter is over yet.
Yeah.
Um, my experience of life since I would say since like um so after that marriage there were 4 months of hell and experiencing like literally every single thing I feared right in front of my eyes,
Yeah.
through different incarnations and through different incarnations of Shiva and 3 different incarnations of Shakti present to like humble me down and tear me apart. That beautiful sword of Kali, rising up that we bow towards and that we bow in front of. Um, and so 4 months, and then after that, and since then, I've been feeling like I'm just a newborn being expelled from the womb, still being in the womb, and also taking my first steps.
Mm.
So I'm in these 3 different realities, but yeah, it fluctuates, and we wouldn't want it any other way. There is no like being you can wish to not feel the depth of the divine expressions of sadness, anger, uh, uh, hatred, jealousy, uh, but also passion, love, ecstasy, playfulness. And yeah, I've been going back to heal. I've been going back to heal my previous deaths. And again, I'm reborn as someone completely fucking new. Every single time I've been reborn, I lose friends, I gain friends because they're just like, I don't know who the fuck you are. You're not the same. And I mean, new people that I wouldn't have met before. Like I feel like either you fully surrender yourself to death, and then you become like you become a newborn. It's that mini cycle, these mini cycles that we go through.
Wow. It's like your whole frequency changes and it changes what you attract, what you repel. It's like so cool.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Um, but also like I'm not in the purest uh frequency, and I'm still in the middle of the 2 paradigms of like high frequency, low frequency as a ladder, which is not necessarily like which is true and which is untrue, and just a bubble of everything, which encompasses everything, which encompasses like high frequency and low frequency with no hierarchy. It's just everything is in the bubble. And
Cool.
it's just like bumping on each other. Because like emotions and the way we experience them aren't the problem. We in our society, we've got a real problem with one experiencing emotions and showing emotions. Um, yeah, and attaching ourselves to this to the story of things, attaching
Mm.
ourselves to villain victim mentality, and to the perspective that like there are villains. um and yeah, I like in terms of frequency, it's a complicated subject. It's a complicated subject. That's a podcast episode in itself.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Leo. It's about 10, 11. I'm gonna get some rest to go back to the day job tomorrow. But any final messages for
Cheers.
the listeners?
Yeah. There's one I sent you, I think it was a day ago. I want to remind everyone that there's no way to ever fuck up. We're always acting to the top of our ability at any time, and any part of you that you feel like did something wrong, fucked up, or um faltered in life actually didn't. You wouldn't have done anything differently. You just did to the best of your ability, to the best paradigm that you were in that moment. And that is powerful, especially when you give it to whoever hurt you, to
Mm.
whoever you don't understand. Just knowing that they did not fuck up.
Mm.
They did not do anything wrong. They were just running to the best software that they had available at any moment in time. Anyone. So yeah.
It's a good reminder for all of us, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, mate. It's
Until
been a
next time, bro.
pleasure. I'll see you on Sunday at Saigon's Men's Growth Gathering.
Yes.
If I can Plug that. Everyone, Saigon's Men's Growth Gathering. We are hosting men's circles every month. Men's circles are very much needed. This is the only one here in Saigon. There are lots of women's circles, and men's mental health is an issue, and it's something that we need to work on. The suicide rates don't lie. The alcoholism and drug abuse rates don't lie. The incarceration rates don't lie. The rape rates don't lie. We need a space that is outside of sports bars, that is outside of clubs, that is outside of parties to really keep ourselves accountable, do the work with other people like we've been doing for thousands of generations. And we were talking about epigenetics
Yeah.
and our DNA, and that is in our DNA. In our DNA is the idea that we used to meet around campfires. We used to perform rituals in tribes, men and women. And we have wonderful women that have got beautiful women's circles. And what we can do to honor them is just to have our own as well and make it powerful, make it beautiful. And I thank you, Nick, for also being part of the circle, for being part of this journey.
Thank you for having me, man. And like as you're saying all of this, it reminds me like your guides told you like you got to do this because this work is needed.
I didn't want to do it, man. I didn't want to do it. I didn't have the space for it, bro. I was going through like the worst fucking time of my life, and like I was just like, oh, I've got to gather up like men and make men cry.
Oh
It's
my,
like, bro, this is the hardest thing. I've got to have men talk about their feelings and connect with the feminine. Oh, and I'm going to lose so much money doing it as well. Oh, but hell yeah, it is needed. It is needed. There's no fucking other solution. There's no plan B. There's no plan B.
dude. Okay, next podcast should be about the guides. Like tell us like what are they? Like how do you communicate with them? 'Cause I think we want to know for sure.
All right, sure. Let's
Awesome.
make it happen. Let's
Good
make it happen.
night, bro. Take
All right,
care.
bless you, man. Love
Cheers.
you. See you next time.
Bye.
Cheers.